Hello everybody, this is Gregory with how I lost over 100 pounds and have kept it off for 30 plus years, where there should be no hesitation in your weight loss and your weight maintenance. Today we're going to end the Confessions of an Obese Child series and talk about how I lost my weight. Now before we begin, if you need help with weight loss, contact me through the Clarity FM link found here in the episode notes. Also check out in the episode note links my website, my podcast, my books. And right now, please hit the like button if you appreciate any of this content. And if you really appreciate it, there's a link for PayPal. Make a little cinco centavo donación. All right, so we have reached the apex of the Confession series. And we'll finally cover how I lost my weight. Now, this episode is not going to be tips on how to lose weight. That's pretty much the rest of the channel. This is just going to be like the moment in time in 1990 when it finally happened. And to be honest, I'm not going to be one of those content creators like, wait till the very end of the episode to give you the number one secret. You know, they do that because they get paid the longer you watch. I'm not going to tell you that. Wait till the end of the episode. So look, 1990, I'm 280, size 58, I'm waist, I'm big and tall store. Self-loathing, suicidal, as we talked about and then a couple episodes back. What happened? I think a couple things happened. So at this point, I am 17 and a half. No, I'm almost 18. I'm about to turn 18. And my parents had taken me to dietitians most of my teenage years. I just ignored it. And back then, you know, the dietitians were like, you gotta weigh your chicken breast and one card for this, one card for that. And none of it was psychological at all. But, you know, to my parents' credit, they tried. None of it worked. So why did things change at that point? I don't know. You know, to be honest, if you're looking for like the amulet, the ring, the golden answer that's going to change your life, let me tell you, I don't remember much of this time in my life. I don't remember. All I can tell you is give you little anecdotes and glimpses. So I had PE back then when we had PE, and this is my junior year, and we had PE every year, maybe not senior year. The other PE coaches, as I talked about in the episode on the gym class, PE coaches were not really that sympathetic toward my plight. Let's just say it that way, and they would just kind of tolerate me. In high school, it was no different. Let me lower this a little. And they'd be like, you know, Gregory, go do jumping jacks. And then, you know, go run the lap. And I've mentioned before how the whole class would run the entire lap. I'd be a quarter of the way. And the coach would just be like, Gregory, just get back here. Just get back here. And then I'd run back, you know, also. And they're all laughing at me. Eventually, I had a coach, Coach Webster. He was this black guy. Very like Lou Gossett Jr. for Officer and a Gentleman, if you remember that. Just hardcore guy. Knew nothing about him. I think he taught health at my school. I have no idea. And one day, and I just distinctly remember this, and he said, you're going to die young. If you don't make changes, you're going to die young. I mean, I already knew that, right? But I guess it was finally getting the tough love from a stranger that made the difference. I don't know. In retrospect, I couldn't tell you. I don't know. Maybe that was it. Who knows? All I remember is this is December of 1990. Next thing I know, I've lost 4 pounds. It was probably water weight for all I know. I don't remember doing anything different. But again, I have very few memories of this time. And that was momentum. And it's not like I was losing weight because I was doing anything in gym class, because, you know, you're not doing anything in gym class that's like 30 minutes a day. All I remember was that I started to lose weight. And I would weigh myself every Friday. I remember my parents getting me a membership at a local gym. I remember getting on the Stairmasters, because the Stairmasters, I couldn't run. I couldn't do anything cardio. So the Stairmasters, I would just hold myself up on the, and this is the old ones where there was just the 2 pedals. It wasn't these ellipticals. I mean, they were just crap. And I would just hold myself up and just move the legs up and down. So I remember doing that. Do I remember eating better? I don't remember, to be honest. I really don't remember. All I remember is I started to lose weight. And that was momentum. And I couldn't tell you like by January 15th I had lost this, or by February 15th, I don't remember. I do remember one of the counselors coming to me and is like, oh, look, it's the rapidly disappearing Gregory. So, I mean, I knew I was losing weight because people were noticing it. And I think at that point, like a lot of times with weight loss, once you get momentum, it's what the motivation you need to keep going. And so I was like, well, great, I've lost whatever, 15 pounds, 20 pounds. I'm going to keep this up. So I must have changed my diet. I probably wasn't eating the 4 cheese enchilada entrees right after school in addition to the dinner. Maybe I wasn't binge eating throughout the day and hiding it from my parents. I couldn't tell you, honestly. I don't want to be completely authentic with you. I'm not going to lie to you here. I don't remember. What I do remember is I lost the weight relatively fast. Part of that was just, I think, being young. And I would do the cardio the best I could. At the beginning it was very difficult, and then as I lost weight, it was easier, but I was only the Stairmaster. I still couldn't run. And I don't remember how the students handled it or dealt with it. I don't remember any comment. I do remember, and we'll talk about this in future episodes of the new series, about my post-weight loss experience. My friends were not happy with the weight loss because, and we'll talk about that on the episode, like lots of times when you're nerds, you want everyone to commiserate with each other and you all want to be miserable and get picked on. But when I lost the weight, I started to get the attention of girls, or I had the confidence to approach girls. I don't know, but I had girls, period. Not girls, but I had a girl or whatever. I was talking to girls and they didn't like that. What I do remember is I lost the weight. I didn't lose all 100 pounds during this time. I think the most weight I lost was probably my freshman of my college years. But I do remember commemorating my weight loss on May 4th. That's why if you ever look at the podcast, there are a couple of episodes called Anniversary Editions. So May 4th, 1991 was the day that I used to commemorate my weight loss. I used to call it my second birthday. And for many years, and May 4th was the ceremony we had at my school called Junior Cross and Ring, which meant you were leaving your junior year because it was the end of the spring semester and you were going to become a senior and get your ring to show that you were a senior. So I thought that was a good time to commemorate it since there was an actual something, an event going on. And I don't remember, it was such a sudden transformation, guys, that, I wouldn't say I lost 100 pounds, but I definitely lost enough where I thought I can try to maintain this weight at this weight. And maybe it was 190. I was 6'2", so maybe it was 190, I don't remember. But for many years, May 4th was kind of like a very solemn day. And I think a lot of it dealt with what happened in my 20s and a lot of the survivor's guilt that I dealt with. And just wondering, like, why me and why not other people? And lost the weight. And I could say it was my hard work, or maybe it was a little providence from God. I don't know. I don't like to say the providence from God, because then what about all the other people that prayed for God's help that were obese and didn't lose the weight? I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Maybe it was just a time in my life because I wanted girls finally. And I was like, well, I'm not going to get a girl. I'm not even going to kiss a girl, much less reproduce, unless I lose this weight. Maybe it was Coach Webster's words. Maybe like astrology, all these things lined up in the heavens for it to finally happen, but it did happen. And I think on one level, that was my one window. I talked about in the episode about sports, how the coach in high school wanted me to join the football team and be in the offensive line. And I declined mostly because I was nervous to be around the kids that bullied me. But had I joined the football team previous, like 6 months previous to the beginning of my weight loss, I would have stayed fat because they wanted me to stay fat. So I kind of look at like all these things that lined up, and yeah, I lost the weight. Now, at the time, in 1991, I didn't really think, oh, I lost the weight. Cool. I never have to worry about weight gain again. I was very, very clear and very honest with myself that I knew that I could gain this weight back, because I knew people in my life, adults, for example, that did it. And so thus began the next 15 years of unhealthy eating, but in a different way of unhealthy eating. And it began a period of 15 years where the binge eating didn't stop. It just changed. And it began a 15-year period of petrifying fear that I was going to gain my weight back. And we'll talk about that in the new playlist. Guys, post in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Hit the notification, subscribe, and share button. Share with others. Until next time, take care. God bless and pray.